Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Sorry about all those videos trying to test it out. I've still got a lot of work to do to work it out. It's to do with the format that it records in and edits it in, and it's all very confusing, but I will work it out as soon as I can. But today I had promised you that I was going to do a kind of full review of the new Pat McGrath palette that I have, which is called Mothership V. It's her most recent palette, and here it is. And I've caught the Pat McGrath bug. As you know, I showed you the Bronze Ambition palette. So I'm not as much of a Pat McGrath expert, so I don't have as many things to compare it to, but it comes in a very similar box. Boxes are beautiful, and in the larger palettes, the palettes come out of the box like that, and then in the bottom you will see, in the bottom, it's a little bit like a box of chocolates. You get your flavours in the bottom on a separate card. It just does remind me of a box of chocolates. So there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 colours in there. So let's get on and swatch them, shall we? Before Jack gets home. So here is the palette opened up, as you can see. And I will just scan across those like that. They are absolutely stunning. And I think the one that I loved, there were two that captured my eye, was this rose gold here and this red metallic. So let me swatch you through them. So first of all, I'm going to swatch from the very first one is called Skin Show Divine Glow, and that one is here. And what I will do is I'll put a photo at the end with them all so that you can see them. Let's do it on the lightest part of my arm, actually. Bit that's got no hairs on it. Okay. And then next up we have Guilty Pleasure, which is a matte shade. And that one is here. Very good for transitioning, that one. Then next up we have Entrapment, which is just gorgeous. Look at that. I'm always saying, look at that, as if you're not looking at that. You're watching the video. Of course you're looking at that. Now, one of my favourites, Rose Gold, which is gorgeous. And I think I shall be using today. And then Fire Opal, which is this one. And this one has sort of got a duochrome, so it changes colours to things that you put on top of it. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? So it kind of reflects gold and sort of bluey silver. It's absolutely stunning. Then we have, let's go from the bottom left again. We have, I'm just going to clean off my hands a bit. Be right back. Right, then we have Extreme Aubergine, which I love. The swatches don't do it justice, but it just is beautiful on the eye. It's a very dark purpley brown. I've got my tissue here. Then we have Disobedient, which I will put under here. So that's Disobedient. And then another matte called Bronze Blaze. Yes, Bronze Blaze, which is that one. Let me just do a double swatch there, just so you can see that. They blend in beautifully, the mattes. Then my other favourite, which is called Blitz Flame, which, as I said, is a red metallic, stunning shade. And then finally, last but not least, we have Astral Lunar Gold, which is again a kind of duochrome. You see that? So that one is sort of more goldy. So it's more gold with a blue hint. This one's sort of more, I don't know what you'd call that really. It's sort of purple with a gold and silver shine above it. So I'm just going to take some photographs of that and I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I've got moisturiser on, but I've got no face makeup on. So I thought today I'll be brave and I'll put my eye makeup on first. And then I'll just put the foundation on afterwards. They're stunning colours. What can I say? They just look so different in different lights. They just sparkle and beautiful. The only thing I will say is that I noticed the texture of this palette to be slightly drier than the first palette that I got, which was Bronze Ambition. And I don't know if that's to do with the way it was stored. I wondered whether other people had found that. But definitely the 6 palette seemed a lot creamier than this. However, it doesn't affect the wear or the look at all. And they're just stunning colours. Who would not want a palette like that? Okay, so I am going to get on with this look, and at some point during the look the buzzer's going to go and it will be Jack. Okay, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this soft ochre paint pot on, because it's a bit drier, and I'd have feedback from some of you that there is quite a bit of fallout from this palette, and I could see it as I was wiping the swatches off my arm. You could see the glitter kind of flying through the air. This will help it to stick down a lot better. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm just rubbing that in with my fingers. You can use a Real Techniques shadow brush as well if you like, but I just find it just as easy to put on with my fingers. And we're all ready for the palette. Okay, now the advantage of this palette is that it does have a lighter, sort of more highlighty shade, which is good. Now the temptation with a palette like this is to go in and want to use so many colours. Certainly is with me. And I end up doing really complicated looks. So today I've decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use one of the shimmers, which is the rose gold, and then a couple of the transition shades, and make it quite a simple look. And there's Jack. Okay, so yes, Jack's come in from school and we've caught up. So the first shadow I'm going in is called Guilty Pleasure, which is this one here. And I'm going to use that as a transition shade. And Jack's coming to say hello. Tell them what your day at school was like, Jack.
A person bet some money against me in a game and they lost.
At school. What do you mean they bet some money?
They bet £1.26.
But you haven't got any money to bet.
I know. Because I knew I would win.
Very confident.
So I literally, after that, I just bought some sweets at the shop after school.
Okay, I'm just going to do the other eye. Okay, you can see I've now finished my transition shade, and I appear to have grown a head on top of me. This is a very amazing palette. Guys, I've just figured out a way to get this head off me all I do is I dip this brush in there. That worked. Okay, so next up, I'm going to go in with the deeper shade, which is, as you can see, I've kind of got two browns. That's my inspiration. So I'm going to go in with this deeper shade here, which is called Bronze Blaze. And I'm going to do that thing of just further defining in the outside corner, which is what us hoodies have to do in order to look like we have deeper set eyes. So I'm just going to tuck some of that in like this and then blend it out. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on the other side and blend that out, and I'll be right back. I'm just going to go underneath with a little bit of that darker brown. And then I'll smudge it out with the lighter brown, which was, if you remember, Guilty Pleasure. Now, I know I'm probably supposed to put my makeup on first, my face makeup, and then put on the lower thing. But once I start, I like to finish the eye look. Now, next up, I haven't done this yet, so I really do want to try this today, is I'm going to wet a brush to put on Jack's favourite shade and mine, which is Rose Gold, this one here. And when we finish this, we're going to watch some Harry Potter. Okay, so for this, I'm going to use this little flat brush, which I've just cleaned. I think it came in an Amazon set. I don't know what it is, but it's flat and it's good for packing on to the lid. And I'm going to load up the brush with the Rose Gold, and then I am going to squirt it with some setting spray. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's even more wonderful when you wet the brush. And I'm just going to pat a little bit more on with my fingers while it's still wet, because I think that's going to just pack it on a little bit more. I get greedy with my shimmers. There you are. And so I'll just do the other side and I'll be right back. I'm just going to go in with a mixture of those two matte shadows that I've used before and just tuck a bit more into the crease so that I get that contrast. I can definitely see bits of glitter flying before my eyes. Okay, and finally, I'm going to finish off by using this very top shade, which is called Skin Show Divine Glow, this one here. Okay, and I'm going to put that to highlight my brow. Let me do some eyeliner and some mascara. I'm going to use YSL Black Coal, which I love, and I got in a little kit with the mascara that I got at Christmas. So I'm going to do this on my upper lid. Also, I'm going to waterline upper, and I'm going to do the lower lid, but not in the waterline. Okay, and I'll do that, smudge it in, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have temporarily mislaid my Charlotte Tilbury eye cheat, so I'm using this one, which is actually white, not skin coloured, but it does create a lovely contrast. So I'm going to use that in my lower waterline. And then I'm going to do the mascara and my brows and my face. And I will be right back in a minute, in a flash. Okay, I've done my eyes, but before I move on, I forgot to do a little bit of highlight in that inner corner. So I'm going to use, what's it called again? Skin Show Divine Glow, which is this one here. Just to put a little bit in the corner there. Okay. Right, I'll just pop a bit more. Now I've done my brows. Then I will finish off by doing the rest of my face makeup. And I'll be right back. Okay, I thought I'd show you as I'm finishing off. I mixed Kat Von D and the Becca Aqua Luminous foundation because I haven't used either of those foundations for a while. One is way too light and the other is way too dark, so I mixed them together. I actually used the eyeshadow, the first one, as a bronzer, and I used what I used up here as a highlighter. So I'm now going to use some Becca. This is the Becca Après Ski Face Palette in bronze, blush copper, sorry, beg your pardon, which I will show you is this one here. This one here is, no, this one here is brushed copper, okay? And I'm going to put that on as a blush, and then I'm going to continue with the lips, and we shall finish off. I always kind of put the remnants a little bit around my chin and stuff to balance it out. Okay. So, finally, we come to the lipstick. I'm going to use her Blitz Trance lipstick because I only own one Pat McGrath, as you know. But I do love this lipstick, but I'm going to do it with a bit of a difference because I've seen what she does on her website with some of her lipsticks, and I like the idea. So first of all, I'm going to use this lip cheat in Walk of Shame, Charlotte Tilbury's, to line my lips. And I will fill them in as well, because I've got quite a bit of foundation on my lips. And then I'm going to put on the Blitz Trance lipstick, which is called Flesh Fatale. Look, I still love the outside of that. Come on, camera. Zoom in properly. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so I'm going to put this on next. And then on top of that, I am going to press some of the rose gold from the eyeshadow palette. So I've basically used the eyeshadow palette on my eyes, my cheeks, and I'm now going to use it on my lips. I will do a quick summary at the end to show you where else I've used it and how. So we'll take this. So the rose gold, I'm going to take the rose gold that I used on my lids, and I'm just going to press that on to my lips. Let's do another one. In fact, I think I'm going to put it all the way across. I keep dipping another finger in. I'm going to run out of fingers in a minute. And then over the top of that, just to bring out the sparkle a little bit more, I'm going to put some collagen lip bath. Just put some collagen lip bath on my hand as a palette. I just dab that over the top. Can you see how it brings out the sparkle of that eyeshadow? So there's my look. I hope you've enjoyed today. I love this palette. I really can't think of too much to say about it. I think it is very versatile. The colours are beautiful. They work well as well on my cheeks. So I used this shade as a transition, and this shade to darken the corner, and then I used this shade on my lid, and then this shade over here to highlight, and I used a darker shade under as well. And then on my cheeks I used Charlotte's Beauty Light, not Beauty Light wand, the contour wand, to do a contour. And then over the top of that I used this one, the lighter of the two, as a bronzer and to do a bit more nose contouring. And I used this one as a highlighter, which worked really well. It looks beautiful as a highlighter. And then, as you know, I used this one over the lipstick. And they're very versatile, and it doesn't, some shadow palettes, they just don't work especially when you use them on your face. But this has worked beautifully, I think. And what the advantage of multi-using an eyeshadow palette on other parts of your face is that it actually then brings the look together. So somebody's just been avocadavered in the film, so I'm off now to watch the rest of it. It's Harry. Oh no. They're off to watch the rest of it. Hope you've enjoyed today's look and sort of review of this palette. I mean, what's not to like? If you have the money, it's well worth it. A little bit more, a little bit drier, a little bit more fallout than the smaller palettes, but we can forgive her because of the colours. Okay, so anyway, stained tooth. Hope you've enjoyed today, and I'll see you very soon. I'll be doing a live on Wednesday at 1 o'clock as usual, and tomorrow I will be having my foot seen to, so no doubt spend the rest of the day with a very sore foot. So keep messaging me, guys, because you all keep me so cheery, and I hope I keep you cheery too. All right, take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye.